there are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search Applied to Teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Gamertag Radio is headed to E3 2017.
E3 is one of the biggest events for Gamertag Radio, and you don't want to miss this.
Join hosts Danny Pena, Paris Lilly, and Peter Toledo direct from the convention center floor.
What are the plans for Microsoft? We're going to see more new titles from Sony PlayStation. And how about Nintendo? Interviews, roundtable discussion, previews, hand-on impressions, and more.
E3 2017 coverage on Gamertag Radio.
June 11th through the 15th. GamerTagRadio.com or play.it/Gamertag.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Here we go.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio episode. Oh my god, this one sounds crazy. 666. I don't know. And P is not here, so interesting. We have Paris in the house, and this is your host, Danny. What's going on, man?
Hey, we're doing our first recording using our new Tascam Mini Studios. I'm excited, man. This is interesting. This is a different way to do it.
Yeah, shout out to Tascam and the whole team over there, man. This is a pretty cool device. I'm loving this, man.
Yeah, I love it, man. Cool. I love it because for insight, the way people, so people know the way we usually record, we have like our own, we have another Tascam device, like the ones we'll take to E3 and everything when we record audio. So we'll talk on Discord, but then we also record ourselves locally, right? So yep. I don't know about you, but I have two mics when I do that. So now I only have the one mic and I'm recording everything through Adobe Audition with the Mini Studio. So I can talk to Danny. He can hear me through the same mic that I'm also recording. So I think it's cool. Look, we're getting more professional now. This is great.
It's legit. And you could use this also for your stream. Yeah. Have you been testing it out?
Yeah.
For your Twitch streams?
Oh my God. Let me mention this. So I was testing it out, the audio. So like I played some Destiny or whatever. I even, I put up a new video on my YouTube channel. Like I was testing out the Elgato HD60 HG60 Pro, for game capture. But I'm like, all right, let me test this on Twitch too. So I went on Twitch and I was like, let me start playing Horizon Zero Dawn. And I had a bunch of people come in the stream and I just got straight ethered. I just ethered myself. I ran into this part and I couldn't get past it and I had a headache and I was like, okay, I'm done. And I just stopped. I'm like, I'm out of here. But it works fine. It works fine. Same setup like I'm talking to you right now. I use on Twitch. Everyone heard me crystal clear. And even when Facebook Live, I tested it on there too. Works fine.
Awesome, man. All right. So everybody head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it/gamertag. Listen to our past episodes. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, Paris, so we got to talk about this. This was like a big news that was announced a couple of days ago. Have you read about the Nintendo Switch online service? Finally, the announcement, which is pretty good. Have you read the details about it? You definitely got to talk about that.
Yeah, I read the details, and I'm pretty happy about it. Being a Switch owner now, I'm like, this is good. I like this. So talk about the details.
All right, to details. All right. So here's the good news. The good news is now the service is still going to be free until sometime in 2018. That's when they're going to start now charging for the service. But I believe this summer they're going to add like a limited version of the app. Download it and play voice. I think they're going to have voice chat in there, play with your friends and everything. And I think they're launching that with the release of Splatoon 2 because they say summer, and that's when Splatoon 2 is coming out for the Switch. But of course, online lobby, voice chat, and the thing that I like about is subscribers will get to download a compilation of like classic games from Nintendo and Super Nintendo, such as like Super Mario Brothers 3. Paris, that's your favorite right there. Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, and so on. So those games are also going to have online features where you could play online against friends and other people around the world, which is awesome, I think. We've never played these games like this at all, so that's cool that we're going to get to see that type of feature. Of course, once you become a subscriber to this online service, you will definitely get like eShop deals and so on, which is normal. The same thing we see that with PlayStation Plus and also Xbox Live. But the thing that got me the most attention was this, man, was the whole price. So let's say you become a member only for like a month. You could pay $4, 3-month membership, $7.99, 12-month membership, $19.99. So basically $20 for the whole year, which is not bad, I think, man. I think that's a great deal, man. Now, remember a couple months ago, Nintendo did announce about the whole classic games. As long as you become a member, you could try it out for free, only for a month, and then they'll stop, right?
Right.
Now they decide that as long as you become a member of the member of the service, then you can play this as much as you want, totally free. Which is it's a great deal, man. I think is it similar kind of to like Netflix, maybe you could think, right?
Yeah, a little bit. We obviously got to see how this is going to flesh out in practice because, like I said, they just announced like Dr. Mario, Super Mario Brothers 3. So really, to me, the bigger question is not the first 6 months of when they start doing this. What is this going to look like in month 18, month 20? What type of games are we going to see? Because at some point, they're going to have to engage third party to bring back some of their classic games as well. And are they going to be willing to just give those away, for just for the $20 a year? So, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this isn't on the level of what Microsoft is doing with Xbox Game Pass or anything like that. But the fact that for $20 a year, I'm getting Nintendo Online service and they're going to give me one of their classic games and I get to keep it as long as I'm subscribed to the service, it's a win. Why not?
Yeah, it's super cheap. It's super cheap.
Yeah, super cheap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's good that they pushed this to 2018 because right now there's not that many games that you could play online. It's a couple. So by them making this announcement that's getting delayed, maybe by now to 2018 we're gonna see a lot more games that you could play online for the service, man. So I think that's good. Great deal, man.
Now I do have my nitpick since I got a Switch now, and at some point, I'm going to want to play online because I haven't played Mario Kart online or anything like that. But
really? Oh, okay. Okay.
But dude, my kids, I've barely touched this thing, let alone be able to try and play online. But
yeah,
the voice chat that's ridiculous. I mean, it sounds like I need to take out a second mortgage to try and get all this extra equipment I need to be able to do voice chat on the Switch. So I don't like their solution for that at all.
I see that's the thing. We definitely got to talk about that. So the other day, what's the name of the company that made? It's a third party company that's making like this new headset for online gaming on the Switch, where you could connect it. I think it's like, I don't know if you've seen the image. You connect it to your smartphone and connect it to the Switch. There's like a little device too that split the two. Confusing as hell. I don't like this at all. I like the design of the headphones, but I don't like the whole idea connecting to your phone and then connecting to the Switch in order for you to listen and talk to your. I don't like that, but I know in the future probably we'll get to see better solutions like from other third-party companies. Maybe have something like Bluetooth or something. Like I just don't want to have cables everywhere. It's just too much in my opinion. But I don't know. I think right now it's still early. We just got to give it time, and we're just gonna wait until a company will figure something out that everybody's gonna love it, and they're probably gonna go with that. Right now, this is not Nintendo at all. That designed this is a straight up third party company, but still, it looks like a mission to me, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Paris, I know you've been having now the Switch, what, 2 or 3 weeks already?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell us, how's it been the experience so far?
So I finally connected it to the television here in just the last couple days because, like I said, I got this thing. My kids have just been all over it. Like my son has been playing Zelda. Like I can't play Zelda because my son started playing Zelda and you only get the one profile. So I can't like have 2 profiles going at the same time where I'm playing it and he's playing it. So he's gone so deep into it at this point. I gotta wait till he's done. I can't even play Zelda on my system.
That game is hard. That game is hard, man.
Yeah. It's funny. I'll hear him every now and again go, what? Oh, like he gets mad because he'll randomly die. But he's loving it. The kids play Mario Kart on it all the time, either together, head to head, or then one of them's just playing, doing on their own. But like I said, I finally connected it to the TV and I was like, okay, now I get it. Because I'm literally sitting there playing Mario Kart on the TV. And then I stopped playing on the TV and I pulled it out and I kept playing on the Switch. I was like, okay, I get it now. I get the marketing. I get why they call it the Switch now. This worked exactly the way I expected it to. And that was great. I mean, I'm digging it, man. They just need more content, obviously more games to play and stuff like that. I'm thinking I'm going to go pick up Shovel Knight here probably after E3, and I'm going to start playing that as well. But I really like the Switch.
That's a great game too, man. Great game.
Yeah. It's a great game. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick up the Pro Controller, and yeah, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. I'm really digging what Nintendo has done with this hardware, and as long as they support it, and it looks like, and we'll get to the Miss Leo with the E3 stuff, as long as third party is supporting it as well. I mean, this is them getting back on track to when they first launched the Wii, back in, what was that, 2007 or whatever. So, yeah, I'm digging it. I really like it.
Right now, I see, Ubisoft going all in with this. Take-Two, same thing. Activision, I think we might see something coming from them very soon too. EA, not 100%. I'm not really confident with them so far with their focus on the Switch. Not 100% confident. I have to see more. I have to see more of that, man. But I think the other companies, I think they're gonna go all in, man. All in. Especially now that this system is selling a lot now in the States. They're going to go all in now, man. Well,
I think it's funny that they're now in competition with Apple for parts, for supplies, because they're both obviously leveraging the same companies to get all their hardware, to build like iPhones and all that. And obviously what Nintendo's doing with the Switch. So the fact that the Switch is selling so well that Nintendo can't keep up with demand is not a good thing, because I mean, not everyone can have it, but it goes to show you that it's definitely meeting its expectations for what Nintendo wanted it to be in the first year. So hopefully they'll get more out. Oh, and then the fact that they're going to partner with Nvidia for whatever the successor to this thing is going to be, that's a great sign as well. Ooh. Yeah. So
that's dope.
Yeah, I'm happy because, again, it's all about competition, man. It's competition. Mm-hmm. Not that Nintendo competes directly with PlayStation and Xbox, but as a gamer, it gives us more options than just those two, for our hardware, for where we're going to play our content on. And we know how Nintendo likes to innovate. They do things differently. So the experiences that I'll have on the Switch will be different than the experiences I'll have on my PC or my PlayStation or Xbox.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it. You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
So I know you're excited. In just a couple days, we're going to be in LA for E3. So Paris, before we talk about your whole predictions and everything, because we already did that in part 1, but part 2 is going to be about you, man. So, but your thoughts, man, like with everything, with E3, are you hype? Are you excited? What's up?
And I've said this a little bit on Twitter, and people get mad at me and post salt gifs and all that nonsense. But I'm not as excited as I probably should be, this is an interesting E3 for me. Like I'm more curious than anything. I'm curious to see what Microsoft is going to do. I'm curious to see what Sony's going to do, Nintendo, etc. But as far as like the actual games themselves, I mean, you know, obviously I'm the Destiny nerd, so I'm excited for Destiny 2. I'm excited for something like Wolfenstein, but I'm not expecting major surprises this year, you know. But I'll get into my Miss Leo stuff as far as just down the list on what I think. But it's I was probably more excited 2 years, you know. I was way more excited when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and all that launched than I am for this year when quote unquote Scorpio is coming out, for example. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like I'm disappointed. You know, it's just I think we're at that point in the console generation where just give me great games. You know, as far as the hardware stuff and all that, I'm not expecting anything like crazy to jump out at me. But I guess going down the list, you know, I'll run it down. Microsoft, because that's probably the one I'm most interested in, just because of Project Scorpio, to see what Project Scorpio is going to be, when it's going to launch, price, and all that. So my Miss Leo.
Hey, darling, this is Certified Psychic Miss Leo. Now, I can usually tell you things about your future by using the power of my tarot cards. But when it comes to video games, only the guys at Gamertag Radio can give you the E3 predictions. Ya hear me?
Project Scorpio. Like I've said before, I expect it to launch in September. I think there's going to be a 1 terabyte version for $450. And I think there's going to be 2 other higher tiers. One that will be at $550, and I think there will be another one at $600. And I think the most common one that you'll find in stores will be the one that's $550, which will probably be like a 2 terabyte version or something like that. I think the one for $450 is just so that on the marketing they can say it's $450, but it's going to be very hard to find early on. You know what I mean? I believe we're going to see, obviously, Forza 7. We're going to see Crackdown 3. Sea of Thieves gets delayed till 2018, I think, because they only get one shot to launch it correctly, and they got to make sure that online experience is seamless. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'll come out this holiday.
You say 2020?
2018.
Oh, 2018? Okay.
Yeah, probably like
couldn't hear you.
Spring 2018, something like that.
All right, that's good.
I do think there will be a surprise game that launches this holiday. Obviously, I've said a lot of times that it's Perfect Dark or Banjo-Kazooie. Those are just wants. I don't think it's going to be either one. I think it's just going to be something we're not even thinking about right now that they're going to launch this holiday that they've been working on the past few years. Obviously, Xbox Game Pass is going to be huge for them. They're going to have a big focus on Play Anywhere. It's all going to be, it's not going to be so much about the hardware. Obviously, Scorpio is going to be front and center and going to show a lot of 4K content, which is going to be great, but it's going to be about the Xbox brand and all the different services that they're going to bring to you. And we even got a voicemail on that as well. But that's what I think is going to come from Microsoft this year. It's going to be about Xbox, the brand, versus Xbox, play it on Scorpio or whatever. They're going to give you, talk about choice, be it Xbox One, Xbox One S, Scorpio, play Xbox Play Anywhere on your PC, you know, and here's our lineup of exclusive content that we're going to bring to you. And then they're going to have a lot of stuff. And I also think they're going to have a major third-party marketing deal with a major game that's going to come out either this holiday or in early 2018. And that'll, again, be a big focus. Obviously, we know the Shadow of Mordor sequel they already got to deal with, but I think there's going to be another game as well. Going to Nintendo, I think it's all about Mario Odyssey for them at E3. I think we get a teaser for maybe something like a new Donkey Kong game or a Metroid game. I'm leaning more towards Donkey Kong, but for this holiday, it's all about Mario Odyssey. And I think Mario Odyssey is going to be, if not the greatest, one of the greatest Mario games we've ever seen. Because what I think they're going to do, I'm going there. I'm crazy. I'm going there. I think it is going to be that blend of classic 3D Mario with Mario Galaxy, which to me, if they can properly pull that off, is damn near the perfect game. That is almost the perfect platforming game that you could possibly have. Because like I've said a million times, Mario Galaxy is one of the greatest games ever made. And then obviously you look at how revolutionary Mario 64 was when Nintendo 64 launched. If you can combine that magic together, phew, dude, and the fact that it's going to be on the Switch, I can play it any damn where I want. And then I can put it on the TV too. I'm in, just throwing all kind of money at it. And that's why I think Nintendo's half their booth is going to be dedicated to Mario Odyssey, because I think they're going to want people to get hands-on with it and play it and talking about it. Obviously, they'll probably elaborate more on their online strategy. You know, we'll see some third-party support from them. I think Ubisoft obviously is going to be big for them. I know you mentioned EA probably won't be, and I agree. But I think there's another one out there that we're not even thinking about right now that's going to have a lot. They're going to gamble, and they're going to have a lot of Switch support, and they'll probably have games coming out in 2018 for Nintendo Switch. So I'm excited to see. What they're going to do. I also hope, and this won't come directly from Nintendo. This might be from a Nyko or someone like that. Someone's going to announce a quick charge portable battery for the Switch. And I'm looking forward to that, because that's probably the one missing thing that I need to see, an affordable, portable battery charger for the Nintendo Switch, so that when you are on the go, you can quickly recharge your Switch. So I'm looking forward to that too. I also think, again, third party, we're going to see, and again, this may not happen because maybe Nintendo blocks this because of the Pro Controller, but I'm looking forward to a third party controller for the Switch as well. I want to see that get announced too. And then PlayStation, to me, I think PlayStation is just they're just going to keep it simple. They're just going to market the games that we already know about: God of War, Detroit, Days Gone, which Days Gone will be a holiday title for them, in my opinion. They're going to just keep it simple. Gran Turismo Sport, they'll talk about some VR stuff. Obviously, they'll show off all the games will be on PS4 Pro. They're just slow and steady. They'll probably drop the price of the PS4 down to $199. They'll probably drop the price of the Pro down to $350. They'll show off, maybe some extended PlayStation Plus support, for things that they're going to do with that. PlayStation Now, maybe they'll reinvent that service into something that's a little more consumer friendly. You know what I mean? But I'm not expecting anything crazy from them. I do not think we'll see anything about The Last of Us 2 at this show. I think it's going to be all about games that we're going to see in 2017 and 2018. So, like I said, not expecting too many surprises. I do think God of War has a huge presence, though. We'll probably see more from that, and they may even commit to a holiday 2018 launch for that game. And then just going into third party, I think the biggest third party game that I'm excited for is going to be Wolfenstein. I've said that in the past, so I'm really looking forward to that at the Bethesda press conference, showing that off. Hopefully that does come in holiday 2017, which is what I expect. Maybe an Elder Scrolls teaser. Maybe. It'll probably be like a hidden secret thing like they did last year with Wolfenstein, where they don't outright say it, but there'll be something in their show that hints towards it coming next year. They'll probably have another, title that we're not expecting from Bethesda that'll be coming. Hopefully, probably early 2018 that they'll talk about and show. But I'm excited for Wolfenstein from them. That's like I said, that's gonna be one of my big games, of the show for E3. Beyond that, Battlefront 2, I'm very interested in to just see what they do with the campaign on that and the single player. Hopefully, even though it got delayed, EA shows off the BioWare Destiny clone that's coming out. I want to see what direction that they're going to go with that. Beyond that, with EA, it's just the standard sports stuff. Other than that, I'm not expecting anything, and obviously Need for Speed's coming back as well. So we'll check that out too. And then Ubisoft, they'll show Assassin's Creed. We'll see more from Far Cry 5. I'm sure they're going to dabble, into some games on the Switch, probably some VR stuff as well. I'm expecting maybe they might talk about another expansion for Ghost Recon at the show, because I think that has a lot of potential. And my Miss Leo, The Division 2, they're going to announce it. And I think it's a 2019 title, but they're going to announce it. And the Division 2 is going to fix all the issues that they had with the first game, which a lot of them they've already fixed. People just don't know about it because they don't play it, me included. But I think the Division 2 2019, they get it right this time. And then Bungie gets a little bead of sweat down the side of their head because they got real competition. That's what I think.
Very interesting on that one.
Beyond that, I was really thinking that 2K was going to have BioShock. Now I don't think so. I don't think we see BioShock from them. Obviously, Red Dead's already been delayed, so I don't think we see anything about Red Dead at the show. What else? Oh, I had another Miss Leo, and now I'm forgetting my Miss Leo. I had another shocker. Oh, going back to Ubisoft, Splinter Cell. Okay. Call it. And matter of fact, I will go.
I was going to ask you about that, but I didn't want to say it.
Here's how far I'm going to go with Splinter Cell. Okay. Splinter Cell 2018. Microsoft has the marketing deal. That's the game that gets the marketing deal.
I was about to tell. Oh, you read my mind. You read my mind. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Because remember, if you go back in history, they had a marketing deal. It was an exclusive game for the original Xbox, way back in the early days of the Xbox.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's possible. If Microsoft announced that at the press conference, that would be huge. I think that would be a big moment for them. I think not only for them, but also for Ubisoft too.
I think so, and it's an open world Splinter Cell. That's my other crazy prediction. When Splinter Cell comes back, it's going to be open world where you're not just on these linear missions. There's going to be some dynamic missions and things that you can do. There's going to be an online co-op presence to it. There's going to be other spies out there in the world that you can interact with, etc. Stuff like that, man. That's what I think is going to happen. Like I see, and again, I'm probably way off seeing any of this, but I think I see a Splinter Cell. You want to do Splinter Cell to get me hyped for it? You do a Splinter Cell where you're not necessarily Sam Fisher. Sam Fisher exists in this universe that you're in, but you're your own spy. There's other spies out there, in the quote unquote world that you either team up with to do missions with, or you can do them solo. There's going to be adversarial stuff. Dude, do that. Just do it. I'd be so hyped.
Now, my question to you about that, which one will be more impactful? Like announcing at the Microsoft press conference or the Ubisoft press conference?
You got to announce it at the Microsoft press conference because that's going to be kind of their bomb. That's going to be one of the bombs that they can drop. That here show Splinter Cell on Project Scorpio on that stage. Did I say Splinter Cell? Yeah, Splinter Cell. Show it on the stage, Project Scorpio, that whole thing. I think that's one of the bigger games that'll get a lot of buzz. And again, Microsoft's paying for it because they're doing the marketing deal. So yeah, I would expect something like that to be at Xbox and not at Ubisoft, because they can hold Assassin's Creed to the Ubisoft press conference, and that'll be like the show closer for them would be Assassin's Creed versus Splinter Cell.
All right. That's a good one, man. And I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, imagine an exclusive deal, but I never mentioned it on the show until you mentioned it now, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Super awesome. All right, man.
Oh, and going back to EA real quick before I forget this one, they will tease the Respawn Star Wars game as well. I think that happens too.
So it might be one of those, we have one more thing to show.
Yeah. Yeah, we know you guys are loving Battlefront 2, and doesn't it look amazing? But we are working on something else in the Star Wars universe, and then that'll be the Respawn game.
Oh, nice. All right, man. All right, Paris, we have a sponsor, and actually, this is a big, big sponsor for us because they are also going to be sponsoring us for the first time during the week of E3. The whole E3 2017 coverage. So a big, huge shout out to Western Digital. Paris, what your thoughts, man, about Western Digital, man, sponsoring us?
Yeah, I'm excited about us partnering up with Western Digital for E3 and even beyond. But this is big for us, and this is big for Western Digital. I'm loving. Again, Pete and I were the PC guys. We love building our own machines. And what's one thing that you got to have when you build a PC? You got to have a hard drive. And Western Digital gives you so many different options. Be it a straight up solid state hard drive, you can go with your traditional type of hard drives. You can go go with a hybrid, which is both SSD and traditional hard drive. There's even their M.2 SSD drives that you can put in your PC, which I'm actually excited to test out and give my feedback on as well. But this is a great partnership. Western Digital obviously is one of the gold standards when it comes to storage in this industry. So thank you again to everyone involved and this partnership that we're going to have with Western Digital. I'm excited for what we're going to be able to talk about in the future. So again, speaking on Western Digital, you're now able to get solid state drives and hard drives to fit your unique needs. When you add the superior performance of a Western Digital solid state drive to your PC, you get blazing read speed so you can boot your system quickly or load games or other applications in a snap. Combined with a reliable Western Digital hard drive, you can get up to 6 terabytes of storage to keep your games library, your direct feed video, podcasts, and more all in a single place. And for a limited time, Gamertag Radio listeners, you can get 20% off Western Digital solid state drives with this coupon code WDGTR. Let me say that again. 20% off solid state drives from Western Digital with coupon code WDGTR. Find out more at WD.com/GTR.
Take advantage of that, guys. It's 20% off. That is huge for our listeners. So thanks to Western Digital for supporting us here at Gamertag Radio. All right, so I'm going to play this interview with the gaming historian, big YouTuber. I'm a big fan of his work. We talked about his new project that he's going to have his shows now available for Blu-ray. So we're going to play that right now.
Back on the scene. This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Hey, Danny, thanks for having me, and thanks for watching the show.
So, first of all, man, congrats on the Indiegogo campaign. It got funded very quickly, I see. For those that don't know, Norman launched this Indiegogo. He's planning to launch the first volume, right, of the Blu-ray.
Yeah, 9 years in the making, I guess.
Nice. So how this concept came about, because I know a lot of people have been requesting this for a very long time. So what made you decide, like, okay, this is the right time to do it?
Well, people have been requesting physical media for my show for a long time. And I think there's something about the retro gaming scene liking physical media, because they collect all these old cartridges and whatnot. So like there's a big request for either a DVD or a Blu-ray. And honestly, the biggest obstacle for me was I felt like my videos weren't good enough to be on a DVD or Blu-ray. So it finally got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm happy with the quality, and Blu-ray was, a thing now. So you could do HD videos, and because DVD only outputs to like 480p, which if I did it on DVD, it would actually be kind of a downgrade on the quality. Mm-hmm. So because of all the requests, and finally in 2015 when I started making my videos full time, I thought the quality was good enough. I finally decided, let's launch a Blu-ray. People have been asking for this for a long time.
I mean, you have a lot of episodes on YouTube. So my question is, what made you decide, okay, this is the right one for my Blu-ray? Nah, this is not the right one. Is it based on views, content, quality? Like, what was it?
So, like I said, in 2015 is when I started doing the show full time, and that's when I really put in a lot of resources to making the show better. Like better writing, better video footage, audio, everything. So basically on volume 1, it's pretty much every episode from the year 2015, minus like every now and then I did a book review. And so I didn't want to be like, here, watch this book review on a Blu-ray, because how often are you going to watch that on a Blu-ray? So it was really the episodes that like you would want to watch multiple times. So it's about 16 episodes total, plus I made an exclusive episode for the Blu-ray that will never appear online.
So what made you decide to pick that topic? Because, usually I see that the listeners and the viewers are always sending you like ideas. Hey, you should write about this. You should do about this. So what made you decide to pick this topic for the exclusive, the Blu-ray? I know it's about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, right?
Yeah, it's about the hot coffee mod that caused quite an uproar back in 2004. Well, I chose that one because it's been requested before, but two, I thought it would be a cool way to. I thought it would be cool to make it an exclusive Blu-ray because the content in that mod is, very adult mature. And so I kind of had this thing of, it's too hot for YouTube. Like I can't put it on YouTube. You can only watch it on the Blu-ray. But really, the biggest reason was it's such an interesting topic, and we did a lot of research on that one, and it's about 20 minutes long. It's pretty good.
That's pretty long, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now my question is, you have some older episodes that I loved. I think I don't know. When was the one with the Dreamcast? But how long ago was that one? Because that one was really good too.
That was made in 2008. So
2008. Okay,
that's about 9 years old at this point.
Now I understand the quality, but sometimes you got some gems there, man. Some great content that I think it would have been perfect to also, put in the Blu-ray section. So maybe consider it as like a classic or something like that.
I have thought about how to re-release some of the older ones, and I have thought of that. Like, here's the classic edition where it's nothing but my old stuff. But we'll see. I'll definitely find a way to re-release that stuff in the future.
Yeah, I think it's important too. Because let me ask you this: How old are you, Norman?
29.
29. See, and it's cool that you have done like a lot of research on this, like a lot of like history when it comes to like gamings and stuff. And there's a lot of young people that they're basically too lazy to do research, and they just know the things that's happening now. But when I get to see your videos, like, look, I'm 39 years old, and when I get to see like some of your videos, it reminded me a lot of things when I started playing video games back in the days, and there were certain things I totally forgot about. Like, I know you had one content, was it about LGN?
Yep.
I know you mentioned stuff like Nintendo back in the 80s. Also, there's a lot of videos there that you have on your YouTube channel. But seeing that, it reminded me a lot of that part when I, growing up as a gamer in New York City for me. So how important is it for you to besides the whole research and everything, but to create a special quality, top-notch content for the viewers out there for you?
That's my number one. My number one goal is to make the video entertaining, but also educational, so people can get something out of it. Sometimes I'll get an email where somebody's like, "Hey, you talked about." Like you talked about the video game crash, and a teacher emailed me and was like, I teach economics, and I use this video as an example of like how an industry can go under. And so when I get those emails, I'm like, okay, the video did its job. That's what I wanted it to do. So I think that's my biggest reason for making these.
Yeah. Which episode do you think was like the most difficult to make, and why for you?
The most difficult episode to make, gosh, that's tough. Probably as far as like taxing, it might be the Power Glove episode, because
really, okay,
and
interesting.
The reason was it was a topic that was requested, and I was like, okay, I'll make this episode. It's probably not going to be super long. I thought maybe 5 minutes, because I was like, there's not really much to the Power Glove. Well, as I started researching, I just uncovered more and more and more. And I was able to get in touch with quite a few people who actually worked on the Power Glove. And so I got to interview all of them. And it was a huge project putting that episode together, because it turned from a 5-minute episode to, I think it's almost 30 minutes long on YouTube.
And when have you heard back from like major companies like Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox, or even Sega, anybody that they got to see, probably they found your video on YouTube and they liked it or anything? Have you heard from them about that?
I have heard from Nintendo, people that have worked that work at Nintendo, that apparently my videos are popular there, but they don't like to. I've reached out to them for info, and I rarely hear back from them. But I've talked to Al Nilsson, who worked for Sega back when it was, getting more popular in the early 90s. So yeah, there's a few companies that I have talked to, and people that have used to work at those companies. So I do remember Capcom featuring my videos early on. That was pretty surreal. That was kind of cool.
Like that was the first time that you got a mention from a bigger company.
Yeah, Capcom posted on their official blog my History of Mega Man video.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty really cool. Yeah.
I mean, when is the like when you're doing research? Because I'm very curious about this. Like when you're doing research on a topic, and you have so much content coming in and stuff that you discovered, when is the right time for you to stop? Because sometimes you don't want to miss out, like you don't want to miss any other content that you discovered or stuff.
Yeah. So
when is the right time for you to stop?
It's probably the hardest part of writing and researching, like figuring out when enough is enough. I think when I read the script and I'm like, okay, this is a good story. When it gets to that point, and when I get the feeling like, okay, I think I've uncovered as much as I can. I think that's usually when I stop. But even like, sometimes I'll be editing the video and I'll stumble across something that I missed. So I'll have to go back and like edit more info in. So sometimes it's never ending, but sometimes I usually end it at the right place.
And do you think sometimes, like with the things that's going on now, for example, maybe do an episode maybe of the launch of the Xbox One or PlayStation 4? Or do you think that's like a little bit too early for that? Or you ready? How long do you wait and say, okay, this is the right time for me to talk about this?
Well, right now I have a priority on older stuff, just because a lot of that stuff is like disappearing, and I want to get to it before it disappears. But I don't think I have like a certain number of years I have to pass before I talk about something. Like I would love to talk about like No Man's Sky and the launch of that game and how kind of disappointing it was, everything they promised and what actually came out, or like Mighty Number 9 and how much of a disaster that Kickstarter was, and how they launched like 4 more Kickstarters after that. Like there's a lot of interesting stories that are happening right now.
Was there anything that probably did influence you to start all this?
Well, the 2 big things were I've always loved history. I majored in history in college, loved history growing up, always played video games. So it was just kind of a combination of my 2 passions. But one of the biggest motivating factors was I watched a show called Icons on G4. I don't know if you remember that show.
I remember. Actually, I was featured in one of the episodes, I think, with the launch of
really
of the launch of the original Xbox, because I was there at one of the launch events in New York City, and I'm like, oh man, I'm in there. Because we had an opportunity. Well, actually, we got an opportunity to meet the developers that worked on a bunch of old games, and the original creators of the Xbox, and also I got a chance to meet Bill Gates at that time too. So that's how I remember that show, because they used that one of the videos there.
Okay,
one of the episodes. Yeah.
So I loved Icons. It's like one of my favorite shows, and it came on It was on G4, but I didn't know when it came on. Like they didn't really have a good schedule for it. It just seemed to come on randomly. So I was like, well, I'll go on the internet and see if there's any other video game history shows. And there really wasn't any. So that's when I had like the light bulb moment. I was like, oh, I should just make the show that I would want to watch. And
was it hard for you? Like the first video, how hard was that?
It was actually super easy, because I was just so excited and passionate about it. I think I wrote the script, researched, and edited the video in like a week. It was very quick. and the episode was on the NES2 top loader. And I chose that topic because Angry Video Game Nerd, who was very popular at the time, he always had that console in his videos. And I would see in the comments, people would be like, what console is that? I've never seen that before. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just tell people what this is, and that'll be a good first topic.
What do you think that people love your videos so much, man? And at the same time, they love to share that to like maybe friends or maybe even their kids. You know, why is that? Why do you think it's so special to them?
I have no idea, but no, I don't want to say that. You know, I think discovering new information about a hobby they love is very appealing, and I get messages all the time that say, hey, you know, I stumbled across your video. I learned a whole bunch, and it's gotten me into retro gaming again, because they want to discover more about it. So I think there's a nostalgia factor to it. I think there's a chance to learn something, and I feel like I present the information really well. You know, I don't just list a bunch of facts, because I feel like that would be boring and like you can't retain the information. So I feel like I tell a good story and I present it well, and I think that's what appeals to people the most.
Have you done anything about an episode about just online gaming, how everything started?
Online gaming?
Online gaming, yes.
I haven't done that specifically. I've alluded to a few different like early forms of online gaming, like, you know, the Sega Channel, being able to, you know, download games to your Genesis.
Yeah, my cousin had that one. I took advantage of that one big time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've talked a little bit about that, or like there was even one of those for the Atari. I think it was called the Game Line, that let you download Atari games. But as far as a specific topic on online gaming, no, I haven't talked about that yet. It's on the list. I have a huge list of topics.
Yeah, because I'm very curious to see what like the stuff you would discover about that, man. You know? So, because the thing is, it's crazy. Like, I've never thought about that. Like, one of your videos that got my attention recently was like the who invented the D-pad. I was like, wait a minute, I've never thought about that. You know, and I remember playing with some of the early handhelds from Nintendo way back in the days, you know, and I've never thought about that until I got to see your video. So how is it that you come with like these random topics like this, you know? Like, that was a really good one.
Thanks. I don't know. I think I was actually, you know what it was? I had a Nintendo Switch, and I noticed somebody on Twitter complaining, oh, I wish I had a D-pad. And I think that's when I was like, it doesn't have a D-pad. And I just thought back to like all the controllers before the Switch that had a D-pad. And I was like, let's do a video on the D-pad. Let's talk about the D-pad. Because it's on literally like every controller. And it's something true. No one really thinks about, but it's kind of a cool story how, you know, Nintendo came up with that.
And it was so simple too. Like, it was right there. Nobody really thought about it. So it's like, oh man, that's crazy. It's very easy to forget, man. So that's good that you still continue to push that to the masses, man. So that's awesome. I think we need that in gaming big time, man. Because I think a lot of the gaming sites and just YouTubers and everybody just thinking about now, you know. So I think it's important for us to learn about the history of our video games, and at the same time, we learn from the past mistakes and do something better for the future, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, Norman, so one more time, man, where could people find you and subscribe and all that stuff, man?
My main home is YouTube. It's youtube.com/gaminghistorian. Or you can follow me on Twitter @gaminghistorian.
So what if somebody don't have a chance to help out and put money in their Indiegogo campaign, and they're curious about buying this Blu-ray? Where they can find this too, on the website?
Yeah, on gaminghistorian.com. It'll be for sale in the near future. And I go to conventions throughout the country and do guest panels, and you know, I speak at these conventions, and I should have the Blu-ray for sale at those conventions as well.
Oh, awesome, man! And when us we're getting a copy then, because I helped out. I also put money down, man, for this, man. So when are we getting a copy? All of us.
The pre-orders should go out mid to late June. They'll be shipping out. So in less than a month, you should have it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So it's good, man. It's good. All right, Norman, man, congrats for everything, man. And, much props to you, man. Keep it going, man, because I love this type of content, man, for gaming, man. So keep it up, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Take it out. You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, so we're back here, Gamertag Radio, and Paris, we have FanMail. We haven't done FanMail in a while, and I think it's time to do this, man. Play some voicemails and answer some questions from the listeners. So it's time for FanMail.
FanMail at gamertagradio.com.
All right, so we have a couple of questions here. And let's start off with the first caller about Star Wars Battlefront.
Hey, Gamertag Radio. This is Austin, all the way up from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Just dropping by with a quick message regarding on Star Wars Battlefront 2. My question is, with the Star Wars Battlefront 1 that they've given us back in 2015, it was geared towards a casual gamer, and it was nothing compared to what we had back in 2005. But now with Star Wars Battlefront 2, in the trailer, they've shown that they've listened to the community. They're going to be giving us a fully fledged single-player campaign with multiplayer. They're going to be giving us prequels and space battles. But do you think that they've fully listened to the community, that they're going to be giving us back what we had in 2005? Or are they just going to make the same mistake with Battlefront 1 being geared towards a casual gamer, random power-ups and these stupid player cards? And I personally think that it's going to be the exact same thing where they're going to give us, the prequels and what the community wants, but they're just going to stick to their original route. Just let me know what you guys think. Loving the show, and yeah, just keep making this amazing content, you guys. And Paris, sprinkle some salt on it, man. Sprinkle the salt. See you guys.
So, do you think this change, adding the campaign, everything, was because of the community feedback? I personally think that they made the first one kind of rushed because they wanted to release it during the time when, like, the same time when the movie came out. And while that came out, they also were working on this behind the scenes. They were working on another game, and they already had planned ahead of time. Like, all right, we're going to add campaign this time. They couldn't do that for the first game. So, and of course, they made some changes based on the feedback from the fans that had the last game. So, your thoughts about this, Paris? Because that's my opinion about the whole thing. But yours?
No, I mean, it's pretty much known that they rushed out the first Battlefront to get something out with episode 7. You know what I mean? So when you do something like that, when you rush, you had to get the core features in there. So yeah, it came off as a more casual experience because it was just about that multiplayer. There wasn't a real campaign attached to it. They couldn't truly cater to a hardcore crowd because they simply didn't have the time to develop a game that would be able to do that. So I'm actually of the opinion that they are going to attempt to do a more fleshed out, more compelling single player campaign. Obviously, we know the space battles and stuff are going to be back in the multiplayer side. And I do think the multiplayer is going to be a lot more fleshed out, a lot more competitive. They're going to try and cater to that more hardcore Battlefield audience because, again, this is DICE and everything, and that's where their roots come from. So I do expect a more tactical multiplayer coming from them this time, but I also think they'll have playlists and modes that casual people will be able to jump into as well. And again, I think the big selling point is going to be the campaign this time. Excuse me. Darth Vader trying to choke me out talking about this. But I do think they're going to try and have a more compelling campaign. And I'm forgetting her name now because I always want to call her her name from
Janina?
the league. Yeah, Janina. Thank you. I think they're gonna, try and leverage her, obviously, as being the face of this, and use that to sell it to the casual crowd.
All right, let's play the next voicemail.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Yeah.
He don't get to call me salty. He's not in the circle of trust. So you knock that off. Stop calling me salty, because I'm not. I'm a happy person.
Okay. All right. This is another caller all the way from Pittsburgh.
What's going on, fellas? It's Eustace from Pittsburgh. Just wanted to get your opinion on something regarding Microsoft and E3. Everyone keeps saying about how they got to knock it out the park, how Scorpio's got to be a success, and if they don't do well this conference, that they're done. My question is, do you guys think that maybe Microsoft is doing well on their bottom line, so they're not as concerned about not necessarily not moving consoles, because more consoles mean more money, but they're not as concerned as we, the public, are concerned about them killing it with Scorpio? I kind of think that it feels like they're going to be focusing more on Xbox as a service with the Game Pass and Play Anywhere, that they're going to let the third parties do the heavy lifting. I don't think that they're not going to do first party games anymore by any stretch, but I think they're kind of realize that's kind of Sony's lane as far as a lot of the first party exclusive titles go, and I think they realize that they can't compete in that space, so they're going to do other things to help their bottom line with services instead of focusing so much on games and relying a lot more on third parties. I could be wrong, just something I was thinking about, because it does seem like they're not pressing the issue, and after what Phil Spencer said a couple weeks ago about first-party games and first-party exclusives like Zelda and Horizon, it's just made me think about it. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do. Take care.
So do you think Xbox, are they concerned, like in the public, behind the scenes? I don't see that.
Hell no.
I don't see that at all,
and we've been saying this for years at this point. Yes, they are in second place, but they're in second place because PlayStation is selling at historic levels. That's the thing. If you look at Microsoft alone, just them on their sales, dude, they're fine. They're not losing money. They're fine. They're just not selling at that historic clip that PlayStation is doing. And if you look at all the changes that Phil Spencer has done since he took over after the debacle of 2013, Microsoft is trending upward. I don't see anything that they're doing that's hurting their bottom line right now. If anything, with Project Scorpio, and, like he was bringing up the fact that, and, I talked about this earlier in my E3 stuff, Microsoft is making Xbox a service more so than focusing on one piece of hardware. It's the Xbox brand across multiple pieces of hardware where they're saying, you choose where you want to play our stuff, but here's all the great services that we're going to give you no matter where you play it at, right? Be it stuff on Xbox Live, obviously the Game Pass stuff, being able to play on PC. And yeah, they will have some first party content, but no way are they going to ever be able to, I shouldn't say ever, but in the near future, be able to compete with what PlayStation's doing with the exclusive lineup of stuff that they're going to have coming out in the next couple of years. So like he said, you double down on third party, you get as much quote unquote third party marketing under your umbrella as you can. You put out a Forza, you put out a Crackdown, a Sea of Thieves, another quote unquote mystery game. You put the as Aaron Greenberg calls it, the beast, the 4K machine, true 4K, it does all these amazing things. You throw in another service like Mixer, for people that love to do live streaming, you integrate that in. They're going to have some kind of VR function that's going to be built into Project Scorpio as well. I shouldn't say built in, but that Project Scorpio can leverage VR, and you go for it, man. You price it at $450, so it's not outrageous. You take your Xbox One S, it's $200. It does 4K Blu-ray player, all that. And you just have a great gaming platform so that whether people can't look at Xbox and go, man, there's just nothing there for me. There's going to be something there for everybody is the point I'm trying to make. So whether you choose to play on Xbox or not is up to you, but the choice is going to be there, and they're going to have content and services that you're going to want to play. Because look, I don't own an Xbox, and how long has it been now? Has it been 2 years? 2 years, right? I haven't had an Xbox.
Yeah, I think it's been two plus years, I think.
2 years. I've not owned an Xbox, and that was my choice. But I see enough with Project Scorpio and with what they're doing on Xbox Play Anywhere that at a minimum, things like Crackdown 3, Halo 6, whenever the hell that comes out, I'm going to play them, be it if I wind up getting Project Scorpio or if I play it on the PC. But I have that choice now. You see what I'm saying? And if Project Scorpio is $450, I'm just going to go on a record and say it now so all the snarky people on social media can go ahead and get their keyboards ready to type it. If it's $450, I'm going to buy it. I am.
And if it's $399, right down the spot.
Well, that's a no-brainer. Even if it's $450, I most likely walk out of there and go on Amazon and pre-order it right away. Because like I was saying earlier, I expect the $450 model to be hard to get. So you got to jump on right away if you want to get the $450 model. I'm not getting the $550 or none. I'm not going to do that. But if it's $450 or less, I will get it. Just to say I have it, because why not? It's a great piece of technology. It's a great piece of hardware that I can have in my home. I can put it out on my main TV. My kids can enjoy it. I can enjoy it. And, it, like I said, it's going to do the whole 4K experience. So why not be able to have true 4K gaming in my living room at an affordable price? You know what I mean? Look, if it winds up being $550 or more, then they can kiss my tuchus. I'll stick to my PC.
So that's my question to you, Paris. Do you think design, forget about the price and the games, everything. Is it important, the design of the device, of the console? Forget about price.
The way it looks?
The way it looks. Don't worry about the games and everything.
Why?
You don't care about that. So
who cares? Who honestly, why does that? Why is that
because
ever matter?
you and P used to make fun of the microwave version of the Xbox One back
and I still had one. I mean, the point of that is, I can make fun of the way it looks, but ultimately, it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it powers my experience in gaming, right? Because ultimately, I'm putting it in a entertainment center under my television, so I'm rarely going to look at it anyway. So the look of it doesn't matter. To be honest with you, I'm looking at my PS4 Pro right now. This thing is ugly. Whatever. I don't care.
I know, for some weird reason, man, I love the way how the Switch looks, especially the neon colors.
Yeah, I like the neon one.
I like that. And I love my Xbox, the Xbox One S. I like that. White,
I mean, I love how they redesigned the Xbox One S. I mean, I was saying it last year at E3. It's a sexy piece of hardware. It doesn't hurt, but ultimately it doesn't matter what the system looks like, in my opinion. Like this Project Scorpio could be look like a toaster oven, but if it's doing 4K gaming and all that, what does it matter, right?
I don't know, man. In a way, design matters to me sometimes, man. I don't know. Just my opinion.
That's you.
That's me. Like, for example, remember when they first announced the PlayStation 3? Remember that boomerang controller that they had?
Oh, that was. But now, see, that does matter. The way a controller looks and the way it's designed, because it needs to be comfortable. And like you bring that up, that boomerang thing, that would have been horrible to try and play games on. Like
I'll be playing boomerang with the outside.
Yeah, exactly. So that does matter. The controller design matters because it needs to have comfort and fit, to make sense. Like, remember, and this doesn't matter to me because I had giant hands, but even the original Duke controller for the original Xbox, it was way too big for most people. So that's why they had to redesign the controtroller.
I hate the design for that, but I think the analog stick was awesome, though.
Oh, dude, the Duke was awesome. I love the Duke, man. That was an amazing controller, but it wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, it was just the holding it part was just annoying, but whatever. I remember playing that for the first time, and I told the person that was there for working for Xbox at that time, I told him straight up, man, I hate these controllers, man, but awesome game. I was playing Halo, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so here's the last question. This is from Keon. Let's hear it right now.
Hey, what's going on, Danny, Paris, and Pete Rock? How are you guys doing? This is Keon calling from Baltimore, as always, brother. But I, had a quick question for you guys. E3 is on the horizon. More and more information keeps coming out about the event, but thankfully I haven't run into any spoilers. I try to stay away from those. But an interesting thing actually came out, a report. came out that was telling how much square footage each booth has. Now, for Nintendo, they're going to have 32,400 square feet, and Sony is going to have 43,500 square feet, and Microsoft has 17,412 square feet. Now, my question to you is, of course, we know that you can't always go off of square footage to determine how much content is going to be shown, but is that a slight red flag for Microsoft, knowing that this is the first E3 opened up to the public and this is the square space that they have versus their competition? Could that mean that they don't have as much to show as we would hope? I'm just speculating here, but I would love to get you guys' thoughts. Thank you so much for the hard work that you guys do, and you guys take care and have a good one. And safe travels to E3, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. So he talks about the booth, PlayStation booth at E3. Is that important? I'm like in the middle right now, because sometimes companies love the way how they design their booth at E3. Sometimes companies, for example, Nintendo, been masters with this. They design a way where there could be a very long line of people, so they could get press. The media were like, "Oh man, there's gamers here waiting for 6-7 hours just to try the new console, the new game, or whatever." And in the past, I've seen companies adding a lot of games to, and it's big and everything. But like PlayStation, I think, was it last year or the year before, they had like a lot of like virtual VR games. They had a lot of indie games, and all the big games, the big title was like either behind closed doors, or you might see one or two outside playable there. But usually the big ones is always behind closed doors. So Paris, do you think that matters, that they're having a big booth this year?
I don't think it matters in the sense that Sony most likely has such a huge booth because they're going to also have a VR presence there, right? So they're going to need more floor space to do that. Like I had mentioned earlier, I believe Nintendo, and Nintendo historically has always had a gigantic booth, but they're going to want to get as many people as possible touching a Nintendo Switch and playing Mario Odyssey at that show. I think Microsoft's strategy is different, and let's just be frank, they're not going to have as much first-party exclusive content versus their competitors. So because of that, they don't need as much booth space. But look, the booth's still going to be huge. It's not like it's tiny. So you're still going to see Project Scorpio. You're still going to see Crackdown 3. You're still going to see probably the 3 to 4 games that they're going to showcase at the event at their booth. And there's going to be enough space to get people in and out to play them. And like you said, from our point of view, you know, we're going to go behind closed doors to see a lot of that stuff. So it's not going to matter as much for the booth size. But for just again, they're opening this up to the public and all that. So for the general public and everything, yeah, I mean, you know, they need a decent sized booth, and they have it. I mean, I've seen the floor plan, so they're fine. They're right next to Activision, and you have to think of it this way: Activision is going to have Call of Duty and Destiny 2, you know, playable at the show, right, for people to check out and play. So they're going to want to get as many people as possible playing those two games as well. So when you put it in that context, Microsoft's going to do the same thing. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not concerned by it at all, seeing that.
And one thing I forgot to mention, you know, this is going to be the first time the Nintendo Switch is going to be at E3. Last year was just strictly Wii U and 3DS. But this is the first time Switch is going to be there. All the games, everything at E3. So that's going to be big, I think. And yeah, it's the first time we're going to hear about Scorpio. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about all of this, man. Super excited. So yeah, anything else, Paris? I think that's it. We're good?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. We'll obviously record one more episode before E3, and then you and Pete will actually be here in my home. So we'll have to do something here at my house. I think that's going to be interesting before we go out to E3. That'll be fun.
We should definitely do that, man. We'll plan it out behind the scenes. And after that, I get back from LA from the whole E3 craziness. I'm going to Dominican Republic a week after that. So I do believe we have a couple listeners from DR that listens from over there from Dominican Republic. I'm gonna be over there from June 24th all the way to the 30th. I'm gonna be, visiting family, of course, but I'm definitely gonna be promoting Gamertag Radio and also the messengers over there. So I'm planning to be in a couple of like TV shows and radio stations from over there. Talk about like podcasting and the things that we do and everything. So if there's any listeners from over there, from Dominican Republic, hit me up at Godfrey at gamertagradio.com. I would love to meet with you and probably do like a little meetup over there in Dominican Republic. That'll be awesome. And there's a lot of gamers over there, a lot of gamers. So hit me up. That would be awesome where we can meet up over there, man. So once again, email is Godfrey at gamertagradio.com. All right, so head over to gamertagradio.com or play that at /
I don't get a final word. Just you.
Okay. All right. That's why I asked you, and you were like, "Well, that's it. You coming to E3." So that's why I flip it to mine.
Well, for what we were talking about, but then you went a different direction. I wanted to throw something in. Look, just keep all this in there. All I wanted to say is, I just want to thank people, that've been checking out my YouTube channel that I've been doing, because I already. In a week, I got partnered and verified on YouTube, which is amazing. I did not expect
Paris.
that at all.
Congrats.
And I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure it out. And obviously with E3, I'm gonna have to put a lot of stuff on pause because we got to cover the show and all that. But post E3, I definitely have some ideas and things that I want to do. So if you ever check out my YouTube channel, just leave a comment, hit me up, let me know what you think, man. So
subscribe, right?
Fun.
And subscribe.
Yeah, and definitely. Subscribe.
And if you like something there, share it. Share with your friends and let people know, hey, look, man, Paris got some awesome, an awesome YouTube channel there. Look at this great interview or even commentary about different things. So, yeah, support, man. It's awesome.
Yep.
Very awesome, man. But I'm proud of you, Paris. You're doing a great job, man. And you're going to get better, too, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Danny. Thank you. And now I'm going to be serious for a second. So you be quiet, Danny. I'm going to be dead serious right now. I have to thank you because I've said it a million times. I would never even be in a position that I'm in right now if it wasn't for you, because you inspired me all those years ago to get into podcasting in the first place. And even to this day, you still inspire me and you motivate me because you've constantly pushed me out of my comfort zone on certain things, Bonnie Ross. And it's only made me better. So awesome. I thank you. And, like I said, we're all in this together. Even Pete, despite him not being here, how dare he do stuff for his children in college and all that and not be on this podcast. But which, by the way, let me say this, since I was on that episode last week. Fantastic job, Pete, doing that interview for Player Unknown Battlegrounds. That was excellent. Getting to talk. He's the creative director, right? I believe he's talking to creative director. But that was a great interview. If you've not checked that out, go back and listen to the episode before this one. That was a great interview. And I've still not played it because I've just been so busy with real life doing all that stuff. I'm going to sit down and start playing too. I'm going to jump into madness with everyone on our Discord channel, which let me pimp that real quick. Join our Discord channel. That community is taking up. Hell, we got a fitness and a sports section now in there. That's how much that channel is growing, which is great. So definitely hit us up if you want to join our Discord channel, because that community is growing by the day. So I'll shut up now. I'm done.
And also we have a tech deal sections too. So if you want to save some money, share some links.
Yep, absolutely.
It's awesome. All right, head over to gamertagradio.com or play that / gamertag. Listen to our past episodes and share with your friends. And also you can find us on Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iTunes, and other podcast directories.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, until next time, we have one more show before E3. One more episode coming out this Thursday. Paris and Pete, I hope you guys ready, because I'm ready. I have some big surprises coming up. for E3. Woo! Be prepared, y'all, and check your phones. Super important. We're going to be posting a lot of content straight from the show, man. It's going to be awesome, man. All right, until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.